What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about testing our application, meaning we're going to create scripts to test our scripts. Let's talk about that. What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about Mocha. That's a module to be testing that tests our functionality or our code. And we're going to also be talking about how to asynchronously test as well our stuff. So first things first, we're actually going to create a file or folder. I called my Mocha test, like we always do. We always create a folder. Inside that, we're going to start off with creating a new folder called utils. You can name it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter, but utils is generally like a generic folder for generic things, such as like other functions that other apps can use, and that is not just specific to one file. My bad. Did I say that wrong? I said it wrong. I said it should have been other files can use, and not specific just to one file. So we're going to create a folder called utils, and inside this, call a new file called utils.js. And in here, we're going to create a simple function, guys, just a simple function. And we are going to export it because we're going to actually create another file that's going to use utils.js. So module.exports .add, yeah, it's a simple function, like I said. It's going to take an A and B, and I know you're used to this return A plus B, right? But if it's a simple return statement like A plus B, and if it doesn't have conditionals and iterations, for loops, or all that, if it's just a simple return A plus B, then you could just literally get rid of these braces and just put A plus B right here, and it'll do the same thing as return A plus B. So now that we have this, we're actually going to install Mocha. Mocha is a module that's going to help us test our things, which is right here. I'm just showing you where it's at, mochajs.org, so that way you could actually look at the table of contents and get used to it more and more. Because more times you use it, the more questions you're gonna have. And I am gonna go mostly all of these things, but you might still have questions. If you have any questions, guys, like leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you guys. I'll just get back to you. I don't know what to say. So leave questions in the comment section, guys, if you do have any questions. But I'm just showing you where it's at, so that way, if you want to explore, go ahead and explore. But we are going to install Mocha. So in our terminal, you already know what to do. To install third-party modules, you need to create a package.json folder, which is npm init. I'm just put the default for all of these. It doesn't really matter. And I'm pretty sure we have package.json, and in here npm install. We're gonna do a little bit different, guys, something different. Mocha, you're used to doing -- save, which we are, but we're gonna add -dev. Okay, the reason for this -dev is because Mocha is for development purposes only. Like, you don't need it when we push it to Heroku. You don't need it in the live production. So this module is not going to get if it's inside dev dependencies, Heroku's going to look at that and it's like, okay, I'm not going to install any of these dependencies because it's for development only. And that kind of boosts up the server time, or speeds it up, because it's not downloading unnecessary things. And that's why we have this dev dependency object. Now, if you just put save, you would see a dependency object that Heroku's gonna look at and actually install everything under dependency object, but under dev dependency it's not gonna install. So that's why we want it, because Heroku doesn't need it. So we're gonna be doing some testings with Mocha. All right, let's get rid of that. Actually, let's go back to packages.json because I want to create a script to actually run Mocha. Okay. You already know how to create scripts, and you already know two built-in properties, right? You already know two built-in keys, which is test and start. And we usually start with npm and then the script name. You only do, like right now, test, right? npm test. You only do this syntax right here if it's a known, if Node already knows about it. If it's a built-in key, right? But if it's a custom valued key, like we decided to create a script called Gumball, something like that. This is not a built-in a key. So we have to actually, instead of saying npm test, we have to do npm run, and then the script name Gumball. Okay, this is how you run custom scripts. Okay, so anyways, in our test, we're actually going to do Mocha. We're gonna do Mocha *** dot test, and I'm gonna explain what's happening .js. Control save that. All right. Before I get to this, we're actually going to create a file in here in utils. Stop doing that. In utils, we're gonna create a file, and it's gonna be called utils.test.js. Okay. Instead of this, the reason why we have this test is because Mocha looks for files that have the extension .test.js as we specified right here, right? So let me explain what's happening here. Mocha is going to look, these 2 stars means it's going to look in every folder inside of Mocha test. It's going to look in every folder in that test. And right here, we're just looking for a file, any file, it doesn't matter what file it is, but that has the extension .test.js. This is what we're going to be running to actually run our test scripts. So we're going to be testing this function, okay? So in utils.test.js, you're going to actually bring in this file, const utils equals require, and then the string, and then ./utils. Control save. Okay. Since we don't have to bring in Mocha, the reason why is because we're running it with Mocha itself. You see right now, we're running it with Mocha, so we don't have to like do a const require Mocha because we are running it with Mocha. I'm about to sneeze. Hold on. Okay, never mind. It went away. That was fast. Anyways, okay, now how do we test? Well, we're gonna test. Test by running it. It is a function Mocha already has, and it's going to read like this. It takes 2 arguments. Okay, it takes in a string, basically a description of what the function should be doing. So right now, we're gonna say should add 2 numbers. And it actually plays well. It plays well with the first argument. So it should add 2 numbers. The reason why it's like this is because the developers actually decided for it to be like this, because it's a behavior driven development. There it is. That's what it is. And this is why it's like that. It sounds nice. It should add 2 numbers. It makes sense. And then in the second argument is going to be a function, a callback, to be more precise. And in here, this is where we're going to be testing if it does actually add the 2 numbers that we want it to. Okay. So in here, but before we continue, guys, I know you're used to seeing this all the time where we require our own modules, but we are going to do a bit different. You know how you used to do utils.add right? Well, in here, this const, we could actually replace this with an object and then put the function that we want to bring from this utils file in here. Just name it add, and that's it. And we don't have to call it utils.add no more. We just say add. So this is the way we're going to be doing things from now on, guys. So I'm going to actually save this in a variable var result res equals add, and then add takes in 2 parameters or arguments. I'm going to do 11 and 33. And the way we're going to check this is an if statement. So if res does not equal 44, because we are expecting res to be 44, 33 plus 11 equals 44. But if it does not equal 44, we're going to throw out an error. Throw new error. And error takes in 1 argument, which is a string, and this is going to just cancel out on a log what the error is. And I'm actually do a template string. Expected 44, but got, and then I'm gonna inject the variable res in here. Control save. All right, now to actually run this, remember we built this script to run it, so now we're going to just do npm, and test is a built-in key, so we should do npm test. Once we run it, we got 1 passing, because should add numbers is passing, because we did get this right, 44. But what if we added another number over here, plus 5 or 3, and control save? Let's try to run that again. We get 1 failing, and it tells you right here, expected 44 but got 47. That's because of this 3. So if you just delete this, save that, run it one more time, you should get passing again. All right, guys. We're gonna do one more thing to actually speed things up, and that's actually making this auto run just like we did with nodemon and app.server. I mean app.js. We're gonna do nodemon with Mocha though, and we're gonna create another script for that. You're gonna get used to scripts. You're gonna get used to this so fast, and this is so convenient, guys. So it's great that you're learning this. And this time we're gonna build a custom key. And this is not built in, so this is custom. So we're gonna have to run it differently in our terminal. We're gonna call this test dash watch, because we're gonna be watching this. And what this script is going to do is actually do nodemon. Okay, I know you're used to seeing nodemon app.server or app.js, but this is a file we want to run. We actually want to execute a script, and the way we do that with nodemon is actually dash dash exec, so executable. We want to execute a script, and that script name is test. All right, how do we actually run test in the console? We do npm test. So in here, in quotes, guys, we have to do it in quotes, and since we already have a double quote here, we have to escape it. So in quotes, npm test, and then end the quote with escaping it. Control save. Now if we do npm run, because we're gonna run our custom script, we just do that, npm run test watch. Hit enter, guys, and nodemon actually starts going through this and does this. Now we're just in, just control save, and it'll restart it again. Watch, we could do it right now. And it's actually gonna give me a failing, yes, because 44 does not equal 4. If I put 4 again, save it, and it restarts, passing. All right, guys, before we move on, like I always do, I'm gonna actually do another one, so that way you could get used to it. All right, so in utils, we're gonna add another function, and we're gonna actually square. This time we're gonna build a function that squares a number. So module.exports I'm gonna call it square equals. I'm a space kind of guy. I know people are like, why is he spacing so much? Well, I just like spacing. And we're gonna return math. You could literally, oh, it takes an argument. You could literally do x times x, but to get you more comfortable with more JavaScript libraries, I'm gonna just do it the math.powell, which stands for the exponent x, and then what's the exponent? Well, we want the exponent to be a 2. So it's going to be x to the power of 2. I mean, that's something simple, guys. But anyways, look, now we have this function in here, right? So in here, the way we add it is literally comma square. That's it. Now we can just use square instead of utils.square. Isn't that much more easier on this? So we're going to do exactly the same thing. And guys, I want you to write it out so it could be muscle memory already. Now, the first one is the description of what it should do. So it should square a number, right? Second one is an argument. And we're going to save it in var res equals square. I'm going to say 4. It doesn't really matter. And then we're going to do an if statement. So if res does not equal 16, 4 squared is 16, we're going to throw an error. So throw new error, and it takes a string expected 16 but got, and the template. I forgot to turn this into a template string. I will do that in a bit. Let me just get this and then do that. End it. Control save. Now we get a failing. Wow. Reference square is not defined. That's because I probably spelled it wrong right here. Control save. Let me see. I probably spelled it wrong. Yeah, I spelled it wrong here as well. Control save. It should be exactly the same name, guys, by the way. It should be exactly the same name as you have it over here. So now we have 2 add numbers. We have 2 passing tests that it does actually work out, right? All right, guys. As you know, we're going to be writing a lot of tests for a lot of functions that we write out. And doing this if, else, or throwing new errors, that's going to be, is very, very repetitive. I could say that for one. And also it's pretty time length, or I don't know how to tell you. It's just too much to keep on doing this, right? Because we imagine we have this if statement and it's a callback calling to a API. It comes back. It's gonna have a lot of variables coming back. It's not gonna just be one if statement. It's gonna be several if statements, right? So we don't want this. There's actually a better way of doing this, and it's called assertion. We're gonna add in an assertion library, and that assertion library or module that we're gonna be adding is called expect. Now let me go show you what it is. It's actually, if you type in just expect, it's gonna be the first one you pop in. And this is what we're really gonna go for. I'm gonna bring up an example. Actually, let me look it up right here. 2B, this one is pretty simple. So can.ounces is 12. So expect 12 to be 12. I mean, that's how simple it is, guys. You see this? This is what we're trying to aim for. Simplicity, guys. Expect can name, which is what? I don't even know. Pamplemousse. I don't know. Anyways, expect pamplemousse to be pamplemousse. I think it's pamplemousse. I'm not too sure. But you get the gist, guys. And there is a module for this, and we're going to install it right now. So in our terminal, I'm going to exit out this. We're going to do npm I for install. It's actually called expect. Okay. dash save dash dev, because we don't want Heroku to install expect. This is just for dependents, all right, for development mode only. All right, we should have it right here, and this time we are gonna actually have to add it in here. So const expect equals require, and then expect, and I spelled that wrong. I'm just copy this one and just okay, control save. Now we're actually going to get rid of this line, the if statements, and we're gonna do it the way Jess suggests us to do it, and we're gonna do a to be, like the one we saw, to be. We want to compare these two, right? We want it to compare, and this is how we're gonna do it. It makes sense. I don't know how to explain it to you. We expect 12 to be 12. It makes, I mean, in grammar, English grammar, it makes sense. We want it to be 12. So we're gonna go back in our code, and in here we're gonna do expect. It does take a parameter or argument, which is what we're trying to compare, our value up here. So we expect this dot to be 44, right? Because we expect it to be 44. Control save. In our terminal, we're gonna run test watch, and we got it. But check out our errors up here, guys. Check out our errors up here. Let me see. Where's the one that it says expected 44? We threw our own custom, error, but actually, if we give another error here, it actually gives us, I think, in my opinion, a better error. All right here, look. Should add two numbers, and it tells you right here. Expect received to be expected, and it says received 44, expected 4. We expected 4, but we received 44. I think, in my opinion, this is a better way of telling what's wrong and what's not wrong, instead of us actually creating our own errors. I'm just save that again. It's gonna auto start, and we should be having it. And I want you to do this by yourself. This one, it's as simple. It should be exactly the same thing as we have up here, guys. It's that simple. So I'll get rid of this, and we're gonna do expect res dot to be 16. Now I know we're not going to be using these kind of functions where it's a one, like this to be 16. Like this is pretty much hard coded onto it, but this is just an example, guys. We are going to be using Mocha and these test units into our other applications going forward. So just get used to it, guys. And it's great for if you do know companies, like companies actually look for you to know kind of testing units, Mocha. There's another one called Jasmine, but I prefer Mocha. I'm just showing you that the error actually does expected 1, because we did expect 1, but we received 16. But okay, let's just change that back to 16. Control save. All right. Semicolon right there. Now we're gonna talk about how to run test asynchronously. All right, guys, because we might have an asynchronous call over here, and we're gonna do this one right here. We're actually going to do module dot exports dot async add I'm pretty sure I'm misspelling async. I'm not too sure about that though. I think I am. All right, and we're gonna actually set a timeout here to set timeout. It's a function. It takes nothing in there. And we forgot our callback right here. So callback. And is going to be a 1 second, and our callback return callback A plus B. So now if you go back to test.js, we're gonna try to run it asynchronously. We're gonna create a test unit asynchronously. So we need to actually grab this and put it up here. And it's gonna be almost the exact same thing as up here. Paste, get rid of this. We're gonna call it async. It's going to take in 3 parameters. And before we do that, we should actually rename the description for this, right? Add 2 numbers. Async. So that way, I don't know why I did that. I don't know. It's going to take in 3 parameters. I'm actually just do a 4 and 8. And it's going to take a callback, which is going to be a function which is going to return the sum. And right now we're going to do expect, we're going to do this. Expect sum to be 12 though, not 16. Control save. Now we run it over here. So we get 3 passing. All right. So this is how you do async, guys. We're gonna actually do one more, and we're gonna do it for square. We go back over here. I'm gonna just copy this. I'm gonna call it async square, and we're gonna just return. At this time, I'm just do A times A. Control save here. Come back over here. Copy this, paste, should square a number, Control Z, copy. It's gonna be the async, and we're gonna call, I'm just copying and pasting, guys. I'm just too lazy to actually type this all out. I'm pretty sure you're doing the exact same thing. I'm gonna do square, so that way you thought I was going to write it, didn't you? No, I'm copying and pasting it. And we're going to just do 3 this time. We're going to square 3, and it should be 9. Control save. Up. There you go. Now we get that. Async, async, async. Honestly, I don't think we need these returns. Yeah, we don't need it. Yep. Yeah. Okay, I was just seeing if we need it or not. But this is how you do async, guys. And plus, if you want to be extra sure about it, this does take in 1 more parameter, and done. It takes in a parameter called done for the async anyways. And if you want to be extra sure that this actually terminates when it's done with testing it, you could call done down here. And that's what we're going to be doing. We don't want to we don't want to just depend that it actually, because this is async and there could be problems with async. Like I said, there could be an error coming back from the servers, or like the API is down, so it can never connect. It's going to be an error, and we want to make sure that they actually terminate when the async is done doing its thing. So we're going to just call done down here. Nothing should change. It all should just test out. But it actually gives us the async right here. It gives us the millisecond, how long it took, which is great, guys. That's what we wanted. But we're gonna play we're gonna do one more thing, guys, before I let you go. And we're gonna just do, I'm gonna just copy this. We're gonna do one more, and it's gonna be some, random values. It doesn't matter what this description is because we're going to just be playing around right now. Okay. So as you can see right here, 2b, it's comparing numbers and strings, but it could not compare objects. We could actually test that by doing expect. And I'm just put an object in here, name. I'm gonna put my name in there. And over here, dot to b, I'm gonna do the same thing, an object with the name, with my name. And if you actually save this right now, we're gonna get an error, as you'll see. Error. Even though it's exactly the same thing, this to-be function from expect module is actually only good for strings and numbers. There's actually another function. If you go back, there's another function called, where is it at? To equal. We have to use this, and it'll tell you right here. And it'll actually tell you what's that is not compatible. To be is not compatible for objects or arrays. So if you actually just change this to equal, control save, some random value actually starts passing. And we could actually, if we don't want this to be a number or to be a string, because we actually, I wrote this earlier, guys, sorry about that, but we could actually test for numbers or actually to be strings or whatnot. See right here, expect type of res, which is a number, to be a number. If I put string in here, it's going to fail, and it's going to give me a ticket over here. It's going to give me an error. You see, it already says right there. It says expected a string. I received a number though. Control Z. But I just wanted to show you guys that I just want you to start, playing around with the functions that expect has, and doing it yourself, because we're going to be doing this more and more in our application. So I just want you to get used to it, guys. But in the next video, guys, we are going to be using this in our application Express apps. So tune in for that, guys. And like I said, thanks for watching, guys. Please leave a comment down below of what you want me to do, or like if you have any questions at all, please just leave a comment. I will be more than glad to help you guys. Like or dislike the video, guys, and please consider subscribing to my channel. And I will see you in the next video, guys. Thanks.